What is up, Fence fam? Joe Everest, the fence expert. Welcome to another hot take clip, a short clip of a recent live Q&A on my main YouTube channel. For more information on my main channel, as well as exactly the content this clip was pulled from, check out that description below. Mitchell Gregory, would you mind elaborating on the hiring process we're doing right now? So this is a great time, from finding new team members to questions you ask, requirements, etc. Absolutely. Let's dig into this subject a little bit. In the interview, we're going to spend probably 2-3 minutes talking about their resume or their application, depending on which they bring with them. We're going to spend only a couple minutes, talk about job history in the past, because I'm not really concerned with what they've written down as their past. I want to talk to them about it. It's really easy to polish up a resume, right, and just make it sound super slick. I'm not interested. I'm interested in kind of the overview. You've held 3 jobs in the last 10 years. Pretty solid, pretty good work history there. Or has it been 10 jobs in the last 5 years? That's a red flag. So we're going to talk a few minutes, but more than that, we're going to talk about who you are, right? What do you enjoy doing? When you're not at work, what are you doing? Are you out in the community, or are you with family? Or are you with friends? What do you do outside of work that's fun? Because that's kind of telling of someone, right? So sometimes there's some red flags in there. We'll say that, right? So we'll talk about personal, what they like to do outside of work. We'll talk about the previous jobs they've had in the past, the pros and the cons. What you love about working at X? And usually I start off, I'll make sure it's true. I'll look through there and I go, all right, to be clear, I don't know anyone at these companies that are in like a management position. So when I'm asking these questions, I'm asking simply for your response, not to gather information or anything. But I say, hey, what did you love about working for X? Why aren't you working there any longer? Like, what wasn't great about that? And they'll usually tell us. And more often than not, it's usually management, which is telling, right? So they usually have a manager they just couldn't get along with. And that led to either them leaving or them being asked to leave. So we'll ask about the last jobs. What'd you love about it? What didn't you love? The question I've been asking lately is, if you could wave a magic wand and just will your perfect job into existence, what is it? What would that look like? And not as specific, but in broad terms. Is it working with others? Is it working by yourself? Is it working, what is it? Is it working inside? Is it working outside? What is it? And kind of go from there. And then what is the job that you just absolutely would dread coming to? What does that look like? And really what we're trying to figure out is, does the job we think we're hiring for match up with their dream job or what their nightmare job, I guess you would call it. Right. And then I like asking what their 5 and 10-year plans are in broad terms. I don't need specifics of where they're going or anything like that. But what I'm listening for, what I'm really trying to listen for is stability. Right. So we're hiring for 10, 15 years in advance because hiring is expensive. Training is expensive. We need to hire the right person who is they're looking for their retirement job. Right now, we'd like for them to be in their 30s. Not thinking about retirement tomorrow, but they are wanting to put roots down somewhere. So we're looking for stability. We're looking for an active family life. So that I think that's important. I believe that this one came from Matt talking about team sports. Tell me about the team sports you played. Did you play team sports in high school? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Because in a lot of ways, this place resembles, these workplaces resemble team sports. We're all driving towards a common goal, and we are graded on performance metrics, right? So while this doesn't directly correlate to baseball or football, there's a lot of things that do. Working as a team, driving towards a common goal, and being evaluated on your performance. Thank you, Matt Warner, for that little tidbit of information. So we'll ask about 5-year, 10-year plans. We'll ask about team sports, that sort of thing. And then we'll give them a chance to ask us about the company, right? I want you to, this is as much an interview for you as it is for us. So I want to make sure we're both comfortable. After all this is done, and then usually the initial questions will lead to follow-on questions, right? So tell me more about this. I heard you say that. Could you tell me a little bit more about that? That sort of thing. And then we'll take a break, and I'll say, all right, so Matt, Sarah and I, whoever's in the room, we're going to take a few minutes. We'll be right back. We'll go powwow. What do you think? Is it 100% or is it not? That's really the pass fail here. If they are 100%, we had a guy come in Last Wednesday, he came in, nailed the interview. I was like, guys, I think it's 100%. They said, yep, we think it's 100% too. We walked back in, said, I'd like to make you a job offer. And typically during the interview, we'll also ask when they're available. This gentleman had recently relocated to Springfield, was currently he had relocated anyway, he had relocated. He was ready to work. So I said, hey, I'd like to make you a job offer. The job is this, it pays that. And I'd like for you to start Monday. What do you think? And got an answer for him there. One of the things we found, so how we previously used to hire is we would do interviews for a week or 2 weeks, however long, and then we would do callbacks on a Friday. And it could have been someone we interviewed the week prior, and we'd say, hey, the interview went super well. We'd love for you to come on at the Ozark Fence team. We'd love for you to come work with us and all that. Could you start Monday? More often than not, the answer was, I've already taken a job somewhere else. Oh, that's a question Matt's been asking lately, and I liked it too, is what other interviews do you have lined up? What other jobs are you currently seeking or something like that? Like, do you have interviews? And what he's listening for is it someone that's just shotgun blasting out, like just sending in applications everywhere to see what sticks, or is it someone that's kind of has a dedicated idea of what they're looking for? That can tell you a lot also. But yeah, so we'll make them. So what we found was people already had jobs. So what I learned was we need to make an offer on the spot if we want this person, and it is 100% yes. Like I said, it's black or white. It's pass fail. It's 100% or 0%. If it's 100%, they get a job offer on the spot. I'd love for you to start Monday. Or if they're currently employed, I'd love for you to put in a 2-week notice to start here in 2 weeks, that sort of thing. And we go from there.